2025 is here, and I am so excited about all the books. Welcome back to the Under the Covers channel. I'm Francesca, and today I'm going to be sharing my most anticipated books of 2025. I also have more books on the blog, and I have even more debut authors as well. So check out the blog for more lists and more books that are coming out in 2025. Also, a quick small plug here before we dive into the books. If you are a paid member of our Substack community, you will also have access to our book release database. And that database has been getting updated with 2025 books already. There's tons already on there. And I am currently working and adding a ton more that I have found that I am super excited about. So the database will have over 100 books every single month across multiple genres and subgenres, including romance and fantasy, thrillers, cozy mysteries, obviously all the subgenres of romance. So if you want to keep track of book releases and books that are coming out in 2025, that is a great resource, which is available to our Substack paid members. So be sure that you go and take advantage of that. If you're interested, I will leave a link in the description box down below where you can go and sign up for that and have access to that instantly. But without any more delays, if you're ready for the books that I am most anticipating to read in 2025, let's just jump right into the books. I'm going to be very honest. The first book that I have on this list was totally a cover ad, and it is an author that I have read before. I've read one book by this author, and I've definitely wanted to read more books by this author, but I just never get around to it. But the title and the cover for this one, plus the premise, really puts it at the top of my list. And that is Lessons with the Mothman by Kathryn Moon. It's released on January 11 of 2025 and is the third book in the Monster Smash Agency series. If you're into monster romance, this seems like a great add to your TBR. And honestly, after reading the blurb and looking at the beautiful cover, I definitely need to arrange my TBR so that I can read that as soon as it comes out. The hero of the story, Elias, is a rare moth fae, and he works as a freelance consultant for the agency. Love isn't really his thing. He's never been interested in it, but lately he's seeing all of his friends find their mates, and it sparked a little bit of curiosity. That's where the heroine comes in, Victoria. She's a no-nonsense academic, and she's trying to crack the mystery of why monsters seem so much more fulfilled than humans. She's all about facts, no feelings, and Elias is ready to stir up some chemistry and challenge all of those conceived ideas. This sounds like a totally quirky, fun, and steamy ride with a reluctant hero and academic heroine, and I just can't get past the moth fae part, so I am super excited to read this one. If you're a fan of monster romance, I think this is also going to be a great addition to your January TBR. Next up, also in January, is Earl Crush by Alexandra Vasti. I am not sure if this is part of a series or not. It does seem to be a standalone, but I did read my first Alexandra Vasti last year, and I'm excited to dive into this one. It comes out January 21st of 2025, and it's a historical Regency rom-com. If you like a little bit of intrigue and plenty of banter, then this is the author that you should check out. This rom-com has a little bit of espionage, a marriage of convenience, also a road trip, which is going to spark lots of chemistry with that forced proximity. So here's the setup. The heroine, Lydia, is a wallflower heiress, and she's been secretly writing these seditious pamphlets, and she's also been corresponding with an Earl, or so she thought, for quite some time. But as it turns out, she was actually corresponding with his brother, pretending to be the Earl, and she was learning all about his financial situation and troubles, and she had decided that she was going to travel to Scotland and make him an offer to basically save him from financial ruin, and that would be a marriage of convenience. Except when she gets there, the Earl has no idea who she is. He's never corresponded with her, and it turns out it was the brother, they figure out, except he's gone missing, so they go on this road trip to try and find him and hunt him down. Of course, our hero is very broody. He doesn't want a wife, but reluctantly, they have to work together, go on this road trip, and find his brother. He does need her help, and sparks and shenanigans ensue from there. I am totally ready for that because I really enjoy Alexandra Vasti and her kind of Regency rom-com, especially this one, which is going to have a little bit more intrigue, I imagine, than the previous one that I read. read. So I am so ready for this one. I cannot wait. And I think you definitely need to add either this book or any book by Alexandra Vasti to your TBR in 2025. Next one is by Jude Deveraux. And I don't think I've read a fantasy from her. So I'm interested on this one. It's Order of Swans by Jude Deveraux. I have read some of her contemporaries, historicals, even a cozy mystery by her. So fantasy is something I haven't seen before. So I'm excited for this one. It's about a human PhD student, and she is specializing in folklore. And she takes this trip with her friend to what she thought was like some remote island. And it turns out that she's actually traveling to this whole new world. And once she reaches there, she is basically tasked with joining this search party for the royal prince that is missing. So it sounds interesting. I don't know what to expect with this one, but I have really enjoyed Jude Deveraux. I mean, she's a staple, especially in the romance genre. So I'm super excited to see what this one is all about. The next one is Scythe and Sparrow by Brynne Weaver. Now, this is book 3 in the Ruinous Love trilogy. It does come out February 11th. And I still have to catch up and read book 2 in the series. So I do plan on doing that. But I am still looking forward to this one. This was one of my favorite series that I started in 2024. Obviously, I only read one book, but I really, really enjoyed it. I already know what the second book is about. I can't wait to read it. So I am excited for 2025 to be the year where I catch up on this series. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading book 3. And it does come out at the beginning of the year. So it gives me plenty of fun and exciting things to look forward to in the winter. Now, for this one, we have a hero who's a doctor. He has an almost fiance, a ruined surgical career, all the works. He's basically set up a quiet and drama-free life in a small town in Nebraska. And the last thing he needs is to get involved with anyone, let alone someone really messy and magnetic like our heroine Rose. Rose is a motorcycle performer with a circus, and of course, a part-time assassin. But then an injury sidelines her, and she winds up stuck at this doctor's house. Some sizzling tension, some forced proximity. He's determined to keep his heart locked up and not get involved. And she's got all of these secrets and ghosts from her past. But then they decide on a friends with benefits arrangement, which changes everything. I think this one sounds so fun, lots of chaos, just how I like it, and I can't wait to read it. The next book is The Shots You Take by Rachel Reid, which comes out March 4th of 2025. And this is a great one if you're looking for a sexy second chance emotional sports romance. Both of our main characters are hockey players, and one retired and moved back to their small town, and the other one now comes back to the small town. Plenty of old emotions from their past relationship, and also a lot of town gossip because of the big name hockey star. I'm a big fan of Rachel Reid's hockey romances, so I'm really looking forward to this one. It does sound also like a very emotional story as well. So if you're also a fan of the Game Changer series, then definitely add this one to your TBR. It sounds to me like it's going to be a standalone, but I definitely need to read it no matter what. My Funny Demon Valentine by Aurora Asher. So this is a paranormal romance with demons. It actually caught my eye because the blurb of it is pitched as for fans of Brynne Weaver and Kimberly Lemming. So I do love both of those. So I'm like, okay, sold. That's it. I don't need to know anything else. But I really love the fact that it's about the Prince of Hell, and him and his brothers basically escape from hell because he wants to be a jazz musician. And they come to Earth so that he can achieve his dream. And he meets a violinist at a bar while trying to get a gig. And she is a human technically, but she can see his demon form. So I think that sounds like so much fun. I don't know what it is about that whole scenario, but I'm like, I'm sold. I have to read it. Now, for something a little bit different on this list, I have a historical fiction, and is The Other March Sisters by Linda Epstein, Ali Malinenko, and Liz Parker. Basically, the premise of this book is if you ever wonder what the other March sisters were thinking in Little Women, The Other Sisters is here to fill in those gaps. It comes out February 25th, and it's basically a reimagined companion novel to Little Women, which steps away from Joe's shadow and gives Beth Meg, and Amy the space to share their own voices and their own stories. Meg is navigating the realities of early motherhood and her marriage and searching for fulfillment that is beyond domestic life. Beth, whose time is running out, finds an unexpected spark of joy and connection that gives her a glimpse of what life she could have had. And Amy is in Europe pursuing her artistic ambitions and learning to balance her passions with the pressure and expectations of family and life through an advantageous marriage. I'm a big fan of Little Women, and I cannot wait to read this companion novel. It sounds so amazing. I have not read any of these authors before, but I am definitely looking forward to all of the magic of Little Women in this story. Next up, I have Enchantra by Kaylie Smith. This is the second book in the Wicked Games series, and it comes out April 8th of 2025. I absolutely love Phantasma when I read that last year, so I am definitely looking forward to this one. This is the story of her sister. If you love Romantasy, which really to me felt more like a paranormal romance with deadly games, deadly intrigue, morally gray heroes, slow burn chemistry, all of that, this is going to be a great series to dive into, and you don't have to fall behind. There's only one book for you to read and then be ready for April for this one, so definitely add that to your TBR immediately, and you can wait for this one with me. So this story takes us to Enchantra, which is a cursed palace. Genevieve, who is the sister of our heroine in the first book, is grieving her mother, and she's desperate for answers, which she thinks she can find in Enchantra. Then we have our hero Rowan, who is determined to keep her out of Enchantra. And when she finally makes her way inside, she discovers that Rowan and his family are trapped in a deadly game where survival is the only prize. To survive the trials ahead of her in Enchantra, she has to hunt or be hunted, win or die. And as with Phantasma, trusting the wrong person inside of Enchantra could cost you your life. I think that this series is perfect for fans of Carrie Maniscalco and Carissa Broadbent, so if you like those series and those authors, definitely check this one out and come and be excited for Enchantra with me. I'm definitely really looking forward to it. Then May 6th brings us Archangel's Ascension by Nalini Singh, which is the 17th book in the Guild Hunter series. I'm a couple of books behind, so I definitely need to do some reading and catch up. But this one is exciting because we are back with Aoden and Ilium. Sparkle and Bluebell, finally, the culmination is here. These two beloved members of Raphael's Seven are finally reunited in New York, and they have to navigate this seismic shift in their relationship. But of course, as always in the Guild Hunter world, peace is never an option. So besides having to navigate this new bond and going from friends to lovers, there's always chaos around that they have to fight. I'm super excited for this. I definitely need to be doing some catching up with Nalini Singh's books in 2025. I also have some catching up in the Side Changeling series, which I'm also looking forward to reading Atonement Sky in that series. So that is another book that I have on my most anticipated books of 2025. So basically anything that Nalini Singh writes, I'm going to be reading in 2025. I'm really looking forward to it. And if you haven't read this series, definitely add that to your TBR as well. Another one that I am super excited for is Caught Up by Navessa Allen. I absolutely loved Lights Out by her. This one explores a bit of a dark obsession, some voyeurism, and some play club kink. The hero is Nico, who we met in the first book. He's a man who lives in the shadows. He's surrounded by violence and chaos. Our heroine, Lauren, is very sweet and bookish, and she was just never meant to be part of this world, which is also why he pushed her away back in high school. But then he stumbles across her social media page years later, and he realizes that she's no longer that shy girl anymore, and she has ties to a local play club. This one sounds like all kinds of sizzling chemistry. I am definitely looking forward to this one. I really enjoyed his character, the little glimpses that we got in the first book. So I will be dying to read this one as soon as I can get my hands on it. I know it's going to be very steamy and a total edge of your seat ride. The next one on my list is Realm of Thieves by Karina Halle. This is the first book in the Thieves of Dragamore series. It is a romantasy series, and this comes out June 10th. This promises to be really high stakes action and morally gray heroes. So I, for one, am really looking forward to this one. I really enjoy Karina Halle's writing. Our heroine has been stealing dragon eggs, which is an illegal trade, for as long as she can remember. She escaped the fanatical dragon worshipping cult that was her homeland. And from there, she's just been surviving, breaching dragons' nests, and risking her life for the highest bidder. But then she's kidnapped by Lord Andor, who is a powerful lieutenant and who forces her into a dangerous political game and with rival dynasties. Death lurks around every corner, but now it's no longer from dragons, but the actual people that she's come to fear the most. I think this sounds like the political intrigue kind of fantasy that I really love to read. It's a dangerous web of power and betrayals, a fierce heroine, morally complex heroes. So I am so looking forward to this one. It sounds amazing. And I think it's going to be a great one to read if you are a fan of Rebecca Yarros or those kind of books. Basically, political intrigue, forbidden romance, and dragons. Read this book. Now, also on June 10th, there's another book that I'm really anticipating to read, and that is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This is another one of her genre blending stories. I'm really looking forward to this one. I really enjoyed The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I think this one is going to have a similar tone as that. It's a story that spans centuries and continents, and it connects three young women, one in Santo Domingo de la Calzada in 1532, another one in London in 1827, and the last in Boston in 2019. Their lives and their deaths are intertwined, and their bodies are planted in the same soil as their stories grow. And V.E. Schwab has teased this as a story of immortality, hunger, and the ways that time twists and binds people together. It has a very gothic and eerie vibe. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I think it sounds amazing. And I think if you are a fan of V.E. Schwab, if you're a fan even of magical realism, or if you did read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, definitely add this one to your TBR. And then one is If Not My Baby by Kate Golden. I recently discovered this one. So Kate Golden, I've known her for fantasy romance, and this is a contemporary. Now, what I found really interesting about this one and made me immediately add it to my TBR and my most anticipated is the fact that this is a Rockstar romance inspired by Hosier. So basically, the hero is completely inspired by Hosier, and it is the romance between him and one of his backup singers. So it's a woman that has basically given up on her dreams of a singing career or anything like that. And she gets a call to participate in the first US tour of this new artist, and a romance ensues while they're together on this 8-week tour. So I'm excited for it. I think it sounds really fun. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, did she get like permission from Hosier to do that? I don't, whatever. I think it's probably really fun. It's kind of like reading fan fiction. So I think it will be interesting. And then the last two books that I have on this list are actual fan fictions that are now being published as new stories. I do have a post on the blog on Dramani fan fictions, and these started out as Dramani fan fiction, and they've now been rewritten and adapted into new stories. Now, I do have to say that I have not read those fan fictions, but I do plan on reading them before I read the books. So I'm excited for that. I did manage to download them before the deadline when they were removed from the internet. So I'm excited for that. The first one is Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. This comes out July 8th of 2025, and it's a lush romantasy with high stakes, intrigue, and an irresistible enemies to lovers. The story starts at the end. Basically, war is over, and the dark forces have won. Our heroine is the Princess of Evermore, and she has lost her magic, she's lost her freedom, and she's lost her hope. She was captured during the fall of her castle, and the surviving nobles are all auctioned off to the highest bid. Our heroine is purchased by the heir to a family that is known for their cruelty, but he is definitely not what he seems. And as she has to navigate her new life in this new family, in this new place, she starts to see the seeds of rebellion and perhaps redemption in the unlikeliest of places. Now, you can't tell me that this one doesn't sound amazing and so good. I am really looking forward to reading it, and I'm also really looking forward to comparing it to the original fan fiction, because I do plan on reading both this year. And the second book that started off as Dramani fan fiction that is going to be published this year that I am looking forward to reading is The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bridget Knightley. This also comes out July 8th, and it's the first book in the Dearly Beloathed series. It's slow burn, enemies to lovers, romantasy, with lots of angst, banter, and romantic tension. We have a deadly assassin who falls ill with a mysterious disease. hopeless and in need of help from the last person that he would ever turn to, our healer. Meanwhile, our heroine has her hands full trying to tame the outbreak of the long forgotten pox in children. So she really needs resources for that. So when she's offered that in order to take care of him, she has no choice but to agree. So they work together on both his illness and the pox with mutual distrust and undeniable chemistry. I think this sounds really amazing, really fun, lots of rich world building. I am definitely looking forward to it. And again, I'm going to read the fan fiction first and then read the book and see the differences. And those are all the books that I have for you guys today. I hope that you found something on this list that you also want to add to your TBR. I know some of them are a little bit more popular than others. I always try to look for some more underappreciated and hidden gems. I have a ton more books that I am really looking forward to reading this year, and I'm definitely going to be bringing a lot of those to you guys here on our YouTube channel as well as the blog. So make sure that you're following us on all the things, like this video, subscribe to the channel here on YouTube, follow us on the blog at underthecoversbookblog.com, and don't forget to subscribe to our free Substack. That is going to be the best way in 2025 to stay up to date with all of the content that we post throughout all of our platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you find something amazing to read this week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.